is some bad news
Mm-hmm.
to talk about. So yeah, I didn't try this type of
Role play.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's also a very good aspect of clinical communication skill to be
Yeah,
able
of
to
course.
break bad news to your patient. Okay, so let's set the ball rolling.
Mm-hmm. Good morning. As a reminder, my name is Dr. Bella. Could you please clarify your name once again?
Sure, doctor. My name is John Smith.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, John Smith. So I have read your notes, and I see that you are returning here to receive the results of an ultrasound that was performed for your for your daughter. Sorry. Um. So, unfortunately, I have bad news to share. Do you want me to talk about in details?
Yes, doctor. I'd like to know everything about my daughter's ultrasound result.
Yeah. So unfortunately, ultrasound result shows signs of Wilms tumor, that is a kidney cancer affecting your daughter's kidney. And I'm thinking to refer you urgently to a specialist. What do you think about it? Do you have questions for me at this point?
Yes, doctor. I'm very devastated to hear about my daughter's condition. Um, I would be happy to learn more about what Wilms tumor is, how common is this cancer, and what is the prognosis.
Mhm. Yes, Mr. Smith, I'm completely understand your concern, but I'm here to help you out. So let me explain to you a little bit about Wilms tumor. This is one of the most common cancer conditions in children. However, it is effectively treated in most cases. So I can assure you that there is a big chance of good prognosis for your daughter.
Mhm.
How does that sound to you?
Yes, I'm very happy to hear that she's got better chances to survive. I would like to know who exactly is going to coordinate my daughter's treatment plan.
Yeah, Ms. Smith, this is a good question, and I was just about to address it. Actually, I'm going to refer you to pediatric oncologist, and I will do it as soon as possible because we need to proceed with the treatment plan and maybe other um, analysis. Um, so, do you want to ask me something else today?
No, doctor, I don't think I have any further questions for you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So before we end our consultation, let me summarize today's talk. So ultrasound showed signs of Wilms tumor, and as I said earlier, this is a common condition in children. And nowadays, it is effectively treated in most cases. So I think your daughter has a good prognosis. What are we going to do next? We are going to refer you to pediatric oncologist, and they will do their um, analysis and treatment plan. So, what do you think about this summary?
Thanks a lot, doctor. It's all understandable.
Mhm. Okay, so I will arrange an appointment with a specialist straight away. And if you have any other questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to contact me.
Thank you.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye, doctor. Thank you. So, this was a close to perfect role play. You nailed it. You did incredibly well.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a pass. It's definitely a 350 plus.
Really? Uh-huh.
Yes, grammar was fantastic. Of course, you made some very almost unnoticeable grammatical errors here and there. I did write it down, so I would correct them later.
Mm-hmm.
Clinical communication skill was fantastic. You were very polite during your conversation with the patient. You also did ask your patient to what extent they would like to know about their diagnosis, which is also good practice, especially when you are breaking bad news to a patient. So that was
Mm-hmm.
definitely a good communication skill. Transition from one task to another was also great. You always ask the patient, do you have any questions before driving the
Mm-hmm.
conversation forward? So I just wanted to commend you on that, okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, let's start from the very beginning. So when the patient told you their name, right? You say, "Can I
Mm-hmm.
call you? Can I address you as John Smith?" Right? I'm always careful to address a patient without like their title, like Mr. Smith. So even if
Mm-hmm.
the patient says, "Yes, doctor, you can call me Smith," don't say Smith, but say Mr. Smith. Okay, it's just better.
Yeah.
Just be safe. Okay, all right.
Yes, I just didn't notice what I said exactly.
Yeah, so Mr. Smith, that's how
Mm-hmm.
you should
Yeah.
address the
Okay.
patient. And you also said I have read your notes, right? I
Mm-hmm.
have read, well, I think it's better to say I have read your daughter's medical history, right?
Yeah.
Or better
Yeah.
yet,
Exactly.
I have gone through your daughter or your son's medical history,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then you can, you know, break the news, go ahead, or I've received your daughter's ultrasound results. Um, so you said, do you want me to tell you everything in details? That was good, right? I mean, but I
Mm-hmm.
think it's better to formulate it using more
Yeah.
advanced vocabulary. So here you can say, to what extent would you like to know
Mm-hmm.
about your daughter's diagnosis? Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
more advanced, right? It's way better. Um,
Understand. Mm-hmm.
and then this was the statement you made. I'm completely understand, right? It's a tiny grammatical error. We don't say I'm completely understand, but I
Yes,
completely understand,
I
right?
completely.
But
Mm-hmm.
it's better to avoid this sort of statement in clinical communication skill because the reality is you might not necessarily
Yeah.
completely understand what the patient is going through because you've never
Mm-hmm.
experienced that before. So it's better to stick to it is understandable, right? It is understandable to feel devastated about your daughter's condition. However, I want to reassure you that I would do every my possible best to make sure that blah blah blah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
it is understandable. And then the patient emotion to feel frustrated. It is understandable to feel upset. It is understandable to feel worried, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you have to say. And then at the very end, you said, let me summarize today's talk, right? It's not a talk, but I think it's better to say
Yeah.
consultation, right? So let me
Yes.
summarize
Yeah.
today's consultation, or I'd like to highlight the key points of our consultation today. That's also a very nice way to
Mm-hmm.
put it. And then finally, um, you said, so what are we going to do next? You asked a rhetorical question and then you laid down your plans to the patient. So, in order to keep like such a nice flow in the conversation, you can say,
Mm-hmm.
so regarding the treatment plan, okay, also you, or you could also say, regarding the next step in our management, I am going to refer your daughter to a pediatric oncologist, blah, blah, blah. It's better
Mm-hmm.
than to ask, so what are we going to do next? So the next thing we're going to do is blah, blah, blah. That's very complicated. I want there to be a nice flow. So regarding your daughter's treatment plan or regarding the next step in
Mm-hmm.
your daughter's management, yada yada. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any
Okay.
any questions, Bella?
Um. Yeah, I was thinking about the preparation time.
Mm-hmm.
Those 3 minutes.